Bang. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Robot Raider stream. Just had to had some quick technical issues, but we're now back to it, and we're very, very excited today to be showing you the first two bosses of Robot Raiders: Swarm of the Spider Titan. This is our upcoming Kickstarter game. I have my esteemed colleagues, or our fantastic playtesters, that are going to be throwing all of their best cards against each other today. And I'm just want to go around the table, introduce them one by one, so you get a bit of an idea on who they are, what they're playing as, and we'll go from there. But let's start off as the raiders. So these are going to be the three robots that are going to be taking on the one monster player. So we'll go through our robots, and then I'll introduce you to our monster. So let's start off with Anthony, who's playing our paladin, and I'll also bring up your robot card. Hey, Anthony, how's it going today?
Doing pretty good, Matt. Today I am going to be playing the Armored Holy Conduit, which is our paladin slash holy robot for the Storm of the Spider Titan. It is a robot that is focused mostly around defending the team as well as being a general good support.
You have the very powerful robot ability, Golden Aura. To explain a bit about that, essentially each of the robots have their own robot power. These are once per turn activated effects that you can use to do something special. We'll talk a little bit about how you're going to acquire the resources to do it during the game, because we don't want to overload you with information before we actually jump into the game. But essentially, what the Armored Holy Conduit does is it creates a guard, which is going to be like a shield, and it's going to reduce the amount of damage that the Armored Holy Conduit or our Paladin robot is going to be taking. And a dead Paladin is not good news for the other robots at all. You want to make sure that you're trying to keep this guy alive. So let's go round the table. And next up, we will have Neil, who's going to be playing our mage robot. Neil, how's it going?
Hi, new friendos. I am Neil, as you said. I am playing the magical combustion unit. This unit excels at clearing the board state of any minions and generates a lot of card draw off of doing so.
So I won't lie. My favorite robot is probably the next one. I think in terms of how well the artwork came out, I absolutely love the mage. But the cosmetic side of it, put to one side, the mage robot is extraordinarily good at killing things. Its entire purpose is to set stuff on fire, very maliciously. The robot power Ignite allows you to consume magic counters to draw X cards. So we'll talk a little bit, as I said before, about how you're going to get magic counters as the mage, but the maximum that you can have on the mage is five. So yes, this power can let you draw five cards if you so choose, which is always pretty fun in card games. But before we go too heavy into the details, let me introduce the last of our robots, Jason, who's going to be playing our rapid fire archery scout.
Hey guys, yeah, I will be playing the Rapid Fire Archery Scout, which is more like a high damage single target class where you build up his focus power and do tons of damage to the bosses, which can be a big threat to the monster player.
Essentially, you can think of it as like firing a ballista shot. You're looking to set up these perfect turns, working around the other robots so that you can have these cinematic, zoomed in shots that do tons and tons of damage. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce our head of playtesting, Drew, who is going to walk you through a little bit about the monster. Hey, Drew, thanks for coming on tonight. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. As Matt said, my name is Drew. I've been the head of playtesting, and I'm going to be playing as the monster player today. This particular set of monsters is based on creating wide boards that the players are going to have to deal with, or they are going to get overwhelmed and swarmed, hence the name Swarm of the Spider Titan. But looking very forward to our game today.
We're going to be hopping over to the table in just a second, but this is a quick introduction to Doran. This is our first boss of the raid. We do have a tutorial boss as well that you can ease yourself into. I'll also do a quick explanation on how the game works before we jump in, because we have cranked the difficulty up to 11 for this playtest. So the idea is that we wanted you to see what the game looks like on its hardest difficulty setting, to tickle your interest or give you like a full view of the game and all of the mechanics. But Doran the Spider Cultist is a bit of a monster. Essentially, what it does is it's going to create lots of spiderlings each turn, and it actually puts a weird punishing mechanic on the robots for killing those spiderlings. Each time they do, they'll be sending cards from their deck to the graveyard, and if they do just the junk folder, I should remember my own terminology here. And if that happens too many times, Doran will essentially blow himself up, and something horrific will happen to the robots as they move into the next encounter. But we will get into all of that for now. Let's head over to the table. And Tabletop Simulator should be showing. There we go.
Hey, Matt, fair warning. If the person in the chat is who I think they are, we have someone with arachnophobia in the stream. Could you give a warning before you zoom in on the card infected host so they know not to watch?
Oh, yeah, sure. If you've got arachnophobia, I won't lie, this might be a little hard to watch, but what I can tell you is there's going to be lots of really nasty spiders killed very, very, very aggressively. So maybe that helps. If it doesn't, I do want to give you forewarning that we do have a lot of spiders. And also want to show you this wonderful layout. So essentially, these are kind of our game mats that we're going to be launching on our Kickstarter as well. We're very close to our final build. There's a couple of new artworks that we want to get done before our game is ready, but all of that is stuff that we can discuss a little bit later. So the way the Robot Raiders works is it's a turn order based game. You have the monster player takes the first turn, and then we essentially go round one by one, each taking a turn until it comes back to the monster. One full circuit is called a round, and each turn is controlled by each individual robot. Key things for this game is that the robots are not allowed to share their hands with the other robots, but you can tell the other robots openly what card you have in your hand. And this has to be done in earshot of the monster, and it can't be in code, and the monster has to understand what you're saying. Part of the balance of Robot Raiders is a 3 versus 1 game. So if you're going to be openly announcing your strategy in the monster's lair, you probably should get punished for that. At the start of the game, everybody has selected a robot. We have to decide the ordering of the robots, and this is going to make a huge impact on the way that the game is going to play out. So I'm going to ask the robot players now if you could agree on a turn order, because we're going to be going from left to right on this.
So I'm thinking probably I should be going first, as I'm not too bothered generally. I don't output a lot of damage, so guard spiderlings aren't a big issue for me. You guys cool with if I go first, so I can just kind of get my stuff out of the way and maybe deal with guard spiders for you guys if necessary?
Yes, that works for me.
Okay,
In case
cool.
you're not able to deal with the guard spiders, I think I should go second so that our ranger can be set up to focus on the monster.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah.
Seems solid. So this is actually a really huge part of Robot Raiders, is that the turn order has such a huge impact because you have to understand the mechanics of each of the fights that you're going to be going through, and having the robots in the wrong order can make people's lives very, very difficult, but you should understand that as we start playing through. At the beginning of the game, the robots will choose a level 2 upgrade, and the reason we start at level 2 is because we assume that you're all going to be good people and play the tutorial, and your reward for that is leveling up. So if you want to go ahead and choose your level 2 upgrade, and then when it gets your turn, I'll ask you to explain a little bit about it. But each robot has access to 3 level 2 cards, and you basically choose one of these, and this is going to give you a passive or an active that you're going to be using throughout the game. I can see there's some questions in chat about hard once per turn or soft once per turn. So in Robot Raiders, everything is once per turn unless it specifically says so on the card, or implies that it's multiple use. So an example of that would be concentration. I just going to quickly check. Yep, concentration. So whenever you play a card, gain a focus. This isn't going to be a once per turn effect, but I'll explain a little bit about what that means as we get into it. But for example, there's some of the other abilities, which will be once per turn, do this. But it's implied that everything's once per turn unless it otherwise says so. Okay, so I can see that the robots have gone ahead and chose their upgrades. You also, at the beginning of the game, you would choose 2 advanced cards. So each robot has a basic deck. If I just come over to our paladin, you have your basic deck, which contains the cards that you're going to be starting with every time, and then you get to choose 2 advanced cards. This is from your pool of advanced cards, which is 10 cards, and this will give you customization. If I go ahead and zoom that in, people should be able to read. So our Armored Holy Conduit has chosen to go with Smite. This is a very powerful ability. I'll explain how that works, and Blinding Light. when we get to it. So these 2 advanced cards are much better than the basic cards in the deck. And as you progress through the raid and you kill bosses, each time you add 2 new advanced cards to your deck, you're going to be getting loot, and then on the final boss you get a level 3 upgrade, and that's when you get to play with like your super power up. But do you want to just talk us quickly through why we're choosing Smite and Blinding Light?
Yeah, so Blinding Light I'm picking because, in my personal opinion, it is generally one of the best cards in the advanced deck. It gives the best guard and taunt more than any other card in the deck, and it also gives a solid heal and card draw for the expensive holy counters. It's personally my favorite card in the Holy Conduit deck. Smite I'm grabbing because while clearing the board is often on the magical combustion unit, it is very helpful if someone else is able to do it in a pinch.
And to explain taunt for anybody, that basically forces the monster players, minions, or the boss's next next X attacks have to attack the player that's taunting. So this is how the paladin protects the other robots, is they generate taunt, and then this controls how the monster can play. And this also puts a bit of a challenge on your paladin player if they are playing the class wrong. These 2 guys may have a really rough time. So let's jump over to our magical combustion unit and just do a quick explanation on why we're playing Flame On, which is our level 2 upgrade.
Flame On is an incredibly safe choice that takes a lot of RNG out of the mage's kits. That's why I chose it for the stream. I feel like we should have a good showcase where we don't have an unlucky or incredibly lucky roll. To be clear to the stream, though, that's unlikely. I'm more just trying to eliminate a 1% chance here with this. Ability-wise, it gives me a lot of guard every time I use my card draw ability. And it also gives me additional magic counters the first time I play a defensive card each turn, which can be incredibly helpful for powering my card draw engine.
Okay.
For the advanced cards, I picked Lava Bomb simply because it's a requirement. The monster builds up a field state. We need field wipes. This is the best field wipe in the game. It deals 1 damage to everything. It'll clear the board of everything that's not an advanced minion. And yeah, that's why that's there. I'm also taking Mage Counter. Usually I would take one of the other utility or offensive cards, but because I'm going with Flame On, Mage Counter actually provides enough card draw to match any other utility in the deck.
Okay. Sounds very strong. And for anybody who's wondering what all of this information means on the cards, don't worry. When we play the first turn out, I'll explain the anatomy of a card real quick, and then it will start slotting into place. It looks overwhelming, but I promise you, if you've played card games before, or even if you haven't, by the time we finish the first round, you will completely get this game. And last but not least, I'd like to come over to our rapid fire archery scouts. How is it going, Jason? I see that
Yeah,
you've
I
gone with
picked.
concentration.
Yep, concentration is a really easy card to play. It basically lets the ranger build a focus as you play cards. He does get a max of 10 focus he can use per turn, or once he uses a special ability. But from there, it stacks on every card you play.
And we use
Uh,
our focus counters for the prime shot robot power, which basically lets you consume, which means you spend all of the counters and you deal damage equal to the number of counters. So your maximum damage output on that ability is 10, which is the highest damage that any robot can output in a single attack.
yeah, for my 2 card argument cards, I picked Scout Ahead, which lets me draw a card and also gains me 3 focus, which synergizes great with my upgrade. With gives me 1 more focus, and I picked Preparation, which gives me 2 focus, and I can add a card from my junk to my hand.
Letting you replay Scout Ahead or any of your power cards. So now that you understand kind of like, I wanted to go over the customization that you can essentially do. There is obviously an entire deck of advanced cards that you can consider in any combination. You've also got your upgrades. Each of them play very differently. Um, so the robots have been discussed. Let's jump over to our monster player. Hey, Drew. So we're going to be playing Doran, which we spoke about a little bit in our intro. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you set up the monster with the dungeon augment and the boss augment?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have 3 different choices for the dungeon augments. The one that I chose for today's stream is called Enter the Lair. During your boot sequence, if you have 3 or less cards in hand, you get to draw a card. So this is really helpful because as the boss monster, it is always important to have cards that you can play to continue to pressure the robots. If you run out of cards, then that can be incredibly difficult. The second part of Enter the Lair is a think of it like a phase 2, where once the boss falls below their half health, it is going to attack all of the robots for X damage, where X is the boss tier plus 1. In Doran's case, Doran is a tier 1, so he's going to deal 2 damage to the robots when he falls below half health. Likewise, with the boss augments, there are 3 different boss augments that you can choose for each of the different bosses. The one that I have chosen today is Doran's the Disgrace. The important thing about this one is it actually has a higher cost of 6 Titan counters compared to the others. However, it has a more punishing side effect. So if the robots are not able to deal with Doran fast enough, they are going to end up taking damage, and they are not going to be able to heal before the next boss, which we can talk about once we get to that part. The basic mechanic of Doran the Spider Cultist is during my boot sequence, if I control less than 3 spiderlings, then I get to manifest X, where X is the number of players. In this particular situation, we're going to be manifesting 3 spiderlings at the beginning of each turn if I don't have any on my board. And every time one of the robots ends up killing one of the spiderlings, they're going to have to take the top card of their deck and put it into their discard. When they do that, it can be kind of hurtful to them because sometimes you end up getting rid of some very important cards that they need to help them survive. Once the players reload their decks, which means that they reshuffle their decks, so when they run out of cards, they're going to reshuffle their junk folder, and then that's going to become their deck. So every time you shuffle like that, I'm going to gain a Titan counter. And as I said, if I get 6, then bad things happen to the players. So this ends up being a little bit of a DPS check.
All right, I think that's a pretty good introduction of what everybody's decided to go with. The monster takes the first turn of the game, so we begin the game by every player drawing 5 cards from their deck. So give your decks a good shuffle, guys.
All right.
Okay. And then at the beginning of each player's turn, they will draw cards. So in turn order. So we're going to start with the monster, and we're going to draw up to 6 cards. What we can see from looking at Doran is it gets free energy per turn. This is what this free is in the top left of the card. All of the robots and monsters in this first raid have free energy. So you can think of that as the cost of your cards. There'll be 1, 2, or free. Well, 0, 1, 2 are free, and then you can play cards until you run out of energy. You don't have to spend it. It doesn't carry over. You get free per turn. So use it wisely. Over to you, Drew.
All right, so at the beginning of my boot sequence, I have no spiderlings on the field, so I'm going to go ahead and manifest 3 spiderlings. All right, I have manifested a spiderling guard. The guard has taunt, which means that the robots must attack this particular spiderling before they can attack any of the others. And then the other 2 are regular spiderlings, and these spiderlings cannot attack the turn that they are manifested. Now I am onto my regular turn.
Okay.
So
We're off to the start. What we can see here on the cards is they have an attack value and a HP value. The robots don't have minions. This is exclusive to the monster player. When a minion has 0 or lower HP, it is destroyed. Well, it's killed. And then it'll either go into the mausoleum, which is the monster's junk folder, or it will go back to the minion deck in the case of a spiderling.
Okay.
Also, for the record, Doran has 20 HP, so this is what our DPS check is. So, sorry, Drew, to interrupt. Please continue.
No problem. All right, I'm going to spend my first energy, and I'm going to disconnect.
Yeah. We may have lost our monster.
We're gonna
All right,
start
can I
with a
get an
disconnect. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Let me just redo that. Let's try that again.
Who kicked them out?
All that build up, and
Who kicked them out?
I blame Phobos.
yeah, it's usually the mage's player's fault.
Fair. Hey Matt, if you move over to black from white, you can see our hands, right? I'm not sure if that's something you want, but if you wanted to show off more
Oh,
of
no,
your
no, no, no.
events.
I have hidden all that, so you guys have the secrecy of how you're playing, and then you kind of have to explain it to me, as opposed to me droning on telling everybody to play. Has that invitation come
Gotcha.
through, Drew?
It has not.
Actually, let's try again. Invite friends. Drew. Easy win. Start off by immediate disconnect. Yeah. I've just sent it again. Does that come through, Drew?
It has not. Let me check my Steam account.
Yeah.
So this is a win, right? Is it now canon that we're winning?
So Neil, to answer your question in chat, everything has to be in view of the monsters. Stop trying to be sneaky if you're going to
It
choose to do
is
that.
technically in view of the monster.
Lil Raw's lawyer.
Oh my.
Drew, do you need to kill Tabletop Simulator and reopen it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Nothing like a little more technical difficulties to kick off the stream.
Yeah.
It's to give people a bit of an overview of this, in case you've never seen this application before, this is Tabletop Simulator. So a lot of people use this for prototyping or rebuilding games that they love. If you are an aspiring game designer, I'd say this is probably the best purchase you can do on Steam. It's for tabletop games. This is an incredible piece of kit. Um, you can upload all of your own components. You can create your own stuff and add it all in, and then you can play around. And it also gives you an idea, for example, if you've got lots of components, how players are going to be moving them around and stuff in the game. For the final version of Robot Raiders, we have a lot of counters on Tabletop Simulator, and what I learned from this is I hate all of these dice, and it's too much. So we've actually created spin dials, which will contain all the information that you need on a single card, and you've got these little spin wheels essentially where you can just go ahead and adjust those, and that basically took away the need for a lot of these extra counters and stuff, which will then mean it's a lot clearer for you guys, um, without needing all of the extra dice rattling about or thinking, oh my god, I can't play Robot Raiders because I lost my dice.
Could I get another invite, please?
Yes, you may. Let's try this again. Boom, that invite is on its way to you now.
Oh, perfect. That one actually came through. Perfect.
While we wait for Drew to load in, Matt, do you have any questions for the players about anything?
Yeah, how confident are you feeling? Because I know this is a pretty hard boss coming up, the second one.
After
Oh,
last night's
don't
playtest,
reveal anything.
I'm not sure.
Don't reveal anything, but yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So-
So MJ's asked for the steps of the turn. So we have our boot sequence, our main sequence, and then we have our end sequence. So your boot sequence is like your start of turn. Your cards will say, do X, Y, or Z. You can do these things in any order. This is also where you draw a card. Then you have your main sequence where you can do things in any order. So what we can see here is Drew's playing cards, and when I finish this explanation, they will explain what they've done. And then you can also declare your attacks, or you can basically do things in any order that you choose. And then during your end sequence, this will be where certain things like trigger, or it will say, hey, you've got to do a thing. But
Okay.
Drew, walk us through. So you've gone ahead and you've spent 1 energy to play the Spider's Nest. You've also played 2 of
Yes.
them, so I see that you decided that you are going to have no shenanigans this evening. You're coming out swinging. But walk us
Yes.
through the Spider's Nest card. Why is this cool?
So Spider's Nest is a very cool card. It's a advanced card, or I think of it as an advanced card in the deck. The Spider Nest is a structure. It doesn't actually ever attack. However, it has 2 health, so it's a little bit beefier, harder to get rid of. And at the end of my turn, I get to manifest X Spiderlings, where X is the boss tier. In this particular situation, its boss tier is 1, so I get 1 for each Spider Nest. I happen to have 2 in my opening hand, so I went ahead and played both of those Spider's Nest. I still had 1 energy left at that point, so I decided to play a Jumping Hunting Spider. Jumping Hunting Spider is probably one of my favorite cards as the boss monster, because it is great to get rid of some of the guard that you can see is going to be building up on the Paladin, our Holy Armor Conduit. they tend to get an obscene amount of armor at times, so this card is great for stripping some of that away. So,
This card is an
now that I have
absolute
gone...
menace the entire game, the Jumping Hunting Spider. But yeah, you've played
Yes.
free energy. Minions can't attack the first turn that they are during the first turn of the game. Normally, a minion like Jumping Hunting Spider could attack the turn that you play it. However, since it's the very first turn of the game, no minions can attack. We're going to get to the end of turn, the end sequence, and both these spider nests will trigger, and this will create 2 more spiderlings. That is a very brutal start. So next we come over to the first robot's turn, our Armored Holy Conduit. And we'll draw up. We'll have 6 cards.
Alrighty. Draw on my boot sequence.
And we should talk about your upgrade real quick. Nanite repairs during your boot sequence. Heal each allied robot by 1 HP. Then you can spend one of these holy counters. You'll see how we get those as we play to draw a card. Obviously, everybody's on full health because you've just walked in. So we're going to ignore this and go into your first turn.
I'll still take it
Yeah.
though.
I'm gonna start my turn swinging. I'm gonna be coming straight at that Spiderling guard because I don't want anyone else to have to deal with it. I'm going to hit it with a smash.
Hold up,
Okay.
before you do that, I do intend to play Lava Bomb on my first turn because this setup, as Matt said, is brutal. So you might want to
Oh,
focus
okay.
on defense since I can kill all of them anyways.
So to answer MJ's question,
Okay.
the minion deck, you shuffle it at the beginning of the game, and when it gets reloaded, you shuffle it. So that they get the spiderlings are random, but the other minions like Jumping Hunting Spider and stuff like that, these are cards you choose to play. So yeah, that'll be these kinds of cards, the spiderlings who go in their separate deck. So you don't know what you're going to get, and it creates a situation where the robots don't necessarily know what's going to happen. And then the main deck cards, these are the ones that you choose to play. Okay, so Smash. To explain Smash,
So
it deals 1 holy damage, and if it deals unguarded damage, which means it reduced something's HP, you gain a guard, and you also gain a holy counter for playing this. So this is an attack card, so this is the robot declaring an attack, and it's going to be used on the Spiderling guard, I believe, right?
I am hitting the guard. Regardless of if you're going to be lava bombing or not, I don't have much else to play this turn yet except smash. So I'm
Fair.
going to be hitting the guard with a smash, which is going to generate me a holy counter, and it's going to give me 1 guard. Then I'm going to spend that holy
Don't
counter.
forget to
Actually,
mill. Sorry, don't forget to put a
yes,
card into
you're
your
right.
junk folder.
Yes,
killed the
so this is
Spiderling.
the ability of Doran. If you kill any of the Spiderlings, you basically send top card of your deck to the graveyard. The deck size is very small in this game. Every time it empties, you reload, so you reshuffle this back into your deck, and you play again. Huge skill of Robot Raiders is knowing where your cards are at any given time, what resources you have access to. So instead of playing, for example, in a standard TCG where you're going to have 40 or 60 cards, this is much more tightly confined, and you're trying to know exactly how to utilize the small number of resources that you have. So we've sent the Distracting Light to the graveyard, the junk folder, as a result of playing Smash.
Next up, I'm going to play First to Charge, and I am going to consume a holy counter to play it instead of energy, as that is something the card allows you to do.
Oh, this is a great
That's
card.
going to allow me to draw 2 cards. And since you're going to Lava Bomb, I'm going to smash both of the spider nests for 1.
Nice.
Yeah, both of the spider nests for 1 to bring them down into kill range for the Lava Bomb. That'll give me 2 more holy counters and 2 more guard, and that will be the end of my turn.
Oh, nice
Okay.
play.
Right.
All right.
Seems like a pretty good play. So a huge part of this game is teamwork. The robots are on the back foot, especially on the highest difficulty. So you've got to work together to overcome each other's weaknesses and help each other's strengths. So sorry, I was about to call you Phobos, but I can see it's Neil on here. Please go ahead and take your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna have an incredibly boring first turn. I'm just casting Lava Bomb. 3 damage to the boss, 1 damage to each minion. So 3 energy cost cards, so that's gonna be my whole turn.
Okay.
You will also have to mill 4 cards.
Yes, I will.
That's
That's
the other advanced guard.
unfortunate.
Yeah, so MJ, the hand size limit is 6 cards. If you have more than 6 cards, you have to discard down. So one of the reasons for this, originally we didn't have a hand size limit, and then we found that players could shrink their deck by just not playing cards. And then we're like, okay, yeah, that actually defeats the object of the how we want the experience to go. So Yes, you have a hand size limit. We've gone ahead and started Lava Bomb, and what we can see is our 20 HP Doran has now been reduced to 17. And the field is looking a little bit more manageable, but I'm sure Drew has plenty of ways to turn this around. We've sent a bunch of cards to the junk folder. That's all the energy. There's nothing else that we can be doing here. So is that everything, Neil?
Yeah, that is my turn.
Okay.
All right, it is all me then. So I'll start my boot sequence for the rapid fire archery scout. Do you have any taunt?
Oh, no,
I
we do
do not.
not.
I do not currently have any taunt now.
So,
You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I wasn't going to say anything about that.
well, I'll start off with this. I'll just do one quick shot to get rid of the jumping hunting spider.
So this deals
It
1
is
damage, and you gain a focus for playing it.
Yep, then I'll gain a focus from my upgrade concentration too, so it gives me 2 focus. The jumping hunting spider is not a spiderling, so I do not have to take a card out from my deck and send it to junk. As our tank does not have any taunts, I am gonna be shameless and I will reactive stance
Reactive
to give
stance.
my self guard.
Yeah, so reactive
Any
stance is a
chance you
defensive
got
card.
another one, bud?
It gives guard, it gives focus, and it also has the ability called Party Guard. This means it can be cast on allied robots. So this is part of the team play, is that you can protect each other. But I can see that uh, we've got a little bit selfish here, where there's no taunt on the paladins. So that basically means the monster can attack as they want to on the next turn. And so the archer has very shamelessly just said, "I am going to protect my face because this is going to hurt."
This might hurt. Then that's 2 cards I play for 2 energy, and I have 1 energy left, and I'll do that by doing a scout ahead, which lets me draw a card. Then I'll gain 3 focus from that. Then I'll get 1 more focus from my upgrade, so puts me at 9 focus total, which is nice for Archer because he can build a bunch of focus up really fast. Then potentially I can do 9 or 10 damage next turn. But that is it for me.
Seems
All
pretty solid. So, Drew, it looks like it's up to you.
All right. So I have 3 cards in hand, which means that I get to draw at the beginning of my boot sequence, and then I will draw for turn. Okay. Also during my boot sequence, I get to manifest 3 spiderlings because I have none on the board.
And there's 3 robots.
Correct. Okay.
Oh, we have a new one, the Frenzied Spiderling. So, unlike the other Spiderlings, they can't attack the turn that they're manifested. The Frenzied one can. So you can just think it is like an angry green little spider biting at your legs.
He's going straight from the major, I bet you that, guys.
All right. I'm going to play Attack Pheromones. So the cool thing about this card is it has 2 different abilities. You get to choose one. The first ability is you can either make all of your spiderlings gain +1 attack until the end of the turn. This is a really cool ability because it's a way that you can actually just kind of go face and potentially end someone's career. The other thing that this can do is if you don't have a board where you can attack with a lot of things, you can actually choose instead to manifest X spiderlings, where X is the number of robots. So in this case, I'm going to manifest another 3 spiderlings. Nice. All right, so Attack Pheromones is a very powerful card, so it costs 2 energy as opposed to 1. So I only have 1 energy remaining. So with that remaining energy, I'm actually going to play another Jumping Hunting Spider. So,
what a menace.
now that I have played a second
Ranger.
I can use the Jumping Hunting Spider to, when he attacks, to strip 2 guard from an opposing character. So, since the Ranger over here happens to have 2 guard, let's go ahead and strip that and deal 2 damage to the Ranger's face.
Ouch.
I also happened to manifest a couple of extra Frenzied off of my Attack Pheromones. So I'm actually going to now attack the Ranger 3 more times and knock them down to 12 HP.
So that nanite repairs is looking real nice now.
Exactly. See, I had to let
Alright.
one of you get hit so I could start getting value.
I put the guard on myself, and that made myself a target. I thought he's going for the mage in the middle, but
I love that. It's like I'm gonna let you get hurt so I can get value. That's cute.
I love how that did not work out for you. All
no,
right.
not at all.
I also
So
love
I
how
have.
it didn't work out for you.
Well, it's fine so far. I have 2 guards, so with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and pass the turn.
Okay, we come back to the robots' second turns. Let's go for it.
All right, for my boot sequence, nanite repairs is going to activate. So all allied robots can heal for 1 HP. And that's only going to be you there,
Give me.
my friend. Then I'm going to draw a card for turn. I'm not going to draw a card from nanite repairs, because I don't really need to right now. I am going to...
Oh, your guard expires at the beginning of every.
Yes, that is true. This
At the
is
first
gone.
robot's turn, in a round, you expire the guard, and at the start of the monster's turn, you expire their guard. So, the real strategy in Robot Raiders when it comes to guarding is you want to do just enough. You do not want to overguard because you essentially lose value on that. So, it's something to keep in mind when you are playing. Before you just throw down all of your distracting lights on the very first turn and then wonder why your next turn is less impressive.
Okay, I think I'm actually going to try and keep the pressure up right now. And I'm going to drop a smite.
Oh,
Huh.
okay.
I'm going to play Smite. I'm going to consume 2 holy counters.
Okay.
Who renamed my counter to Nugget?
You finally noticed.
Just the
saw
one,
that.
too.
I just saw that holy nugget.
So the
Yes,
holy counters, yeah.
I'm smiting. I'm expending 2 holy counters, which is going to allow me to deal 2 damage to all enemies, which is all the minions as well as the boss, and it's going to give me 2 taunt.
All right. You also are going to mill 6 cards.
I am.
Right.
That's
so
a reload.
what
That's 2.
happens if the deck is ever empty and you need to send a top card to your deck, or you need to draw a card, you reload, and then at that point, ooh,
Oh,
okay,
Yeah.
had to pay for
that
both the advanced
sucks.
cards. And Doran gains a Titan counter. So remember the ability: if we get up to 6 Titan counters, Doran will blow itself up and do horrible things to the robots. And it may look like you're going to die very quickly, Doran, but like all of these robots generally tend to reload at about the same time. So it goes from like 0 to 3 to 6, like very, very quickly. Okay, so we've just sent a bunch of cards from the deck to the graveyard. We have 2 taunts because of Smite. Is there anything else?
That is going to be it for my turn. Smite costs 3, so it is pretty much my whole turn to play.
Hey, Butterscotch, do you have literally a single quick shot in your hand?
I have a quick shot, and I have a guard for our boy.
All right. I'm gonna put some guard on him too, then bring the boss down to 11 life. If you quick shot then prime shot him, we should be able to kill him without Enter the Lair even triggering.
Oh,
Is that how
okay.
that works? Does Enter the
It
Lair still trigger?
triggers even if you
Oh,
kill the
even if
boss.
killed. Even if killed.
So that will be this
It's
dungeon.
fine though because you
Uh,
guys will get your heal in between.
All right, then if we're getting our heal in between anyways, I'm going to put the guard on the ranger instead to stop him from taking excess. So 3
Okay.
guard to the ranger, giving me 1 magic
Good
counter.
idea.
So Fire Shield
Thank
is
you.
a 1 energy basic defense card. It has Party Guard, so that's why it's being able to be cast on the Ranger.
And it generates a magic counter for me because of Flame On. And then I'm just going to put 2 fire blasts into the boss.
That's synergy, baby. Fire Blast. It deals 2 spell damage. So this spell damage can be increased if you consume your magic counters, which is not happening right now. And the mage's exclusive mechanic is called Overkill. Certain cards say Overkill, which means if you deal more damage than a minion or a boss has HP, you get a magic counter. So basically, you're very much incentivized to kill things without prejudice and just literally incinerate it. Okay, so our boss is going to come down to 11 HP. So Doran is starting to get a little bit annoyed, but is still standing. Is there anything else from our mage player?
That is my turn.
Okay.
All right, I'll start mine by booting up, and I'll draw 1. From there, I will do my quick shot on the boss, dealing 1 damage, getting my last focus, which I will now.
Well, this triggers
Before I-
before you do anything else.
Yep.
Enter the lair triggers because you've dropped the boss below half health.
That's a
That
shame.
would trigger on the prime shot, not the quick shot.
No, it's below. It's at 10, so when it hits 9.
Exactly.
Carry on.
Not that it makes a difference here, but he does get the prime shot off first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want? You don't need the guard, right, Paladin? Because you healed it off next turn.
I'm probably fine. I'd
Alright,
recommend either defending yourself or the mage rather than me.
I mean, defending himself makes sense, right? But if he defends either of us, the guard's going to get taken away from Enter the Lair triggering. And if we get hit by Enter the Lair, we're just going to heal the damage anyway. So putting guard on us is just a waste. Unless it's more than two.
We'll save it then. For sure, then I'll just do my prime shot, the archer's main ability, special ability. So I'll use all my 10 focus to do 10 damage to the boss. Then it also
Yep.
lets me draw a card.
All right. That is Doran down. That was basically a perfect first boss by the playtesters.
And we
Yeah,
go.
3-turn Doran's kind of fast.
So very expertly putting that one down. So what happens now is we go to a special phase called the loot sequence. So when the monster, when the boss is killed, each of the robots get to shuffle up these loot decks. Each robot has its own loot deck. You give it a shuffle, and then you draw a loot card, and you get to add that to your robot. And I'll explain a little bit about how those work in just a second.
Don't forget that when Dorn does die, when he drops below the half HP, we do all take damage.
2 damage.
2 damage.
Yep.
But the damage can be guarded. So I got
Correct.
3 guard. The mage gave me,
Yeah.
and I'm down to 1 guard
Yep.
from that.
All right. And once the boss is dead, everyone gets to heal. Since it's the first boss, you get to heal 3.
So each robot's going back up 3 HP. Cool.
So while the robots are over here choosing grabbing their loot and choosing their upgrades for the next part of the fight, the monster also gets to have a new boss augment. So these will change between each of the different bosses. The dungeon augment, however, is going to remain consistent throughout the fight. So that is something to keep in mind, that when you first pick the dungeon augment, that you want to make sure that that's one that you're cool with having the whole fight. The boss augment that I am going to choose for this particular fight is Cradle of the Swarm. This particular augment is during the end sequence, I get to manifest 2 spiderlings in exchange for losing 1 HP.
Okay. And then the dungeon augment stays the same as we're using Enter the Lair. That's the environmental effect that stays in play for the entirety of the raid. Let's talk about Gazix. This is our first reveal, so we haven't revealed this anywhere. So if you are one of our regular community, this is your very first time actually seeing text on this card, and this card is a bit of a menace. Drew, walk us through Gazix at Tree Guardian.
This card is honestly fantastic. I love playing Gazix. It feels a bit like a puzzle for the raiders, and you can make very awkward situations and tough choices for them. Gazix is the first one that actually feels like a major threat to me. The Doran fight always feels more like the introduction to the fight or whittling down the players for this particular fight. Gazix's first ability is if the boss attacks X plus 1 times during the raiders' turns, meaning all of the raiders combined, then Gazix manifests X spiderlings where X is the number of robots. So, if across all of the raiders' turns he is attacked 4 times, then you get to manifest 3 different spiderlings because I'm fighting 3 different robots. The second ability is if 3 or more spiderlings are killed in a single robot raider's turn, then you deal 3 unpreventable damage to all robots. The unpreventable part means that it goes through guard. That's the part that really is tough sometimes for the raiders is that they don't have any way to defend against this. So I'm going to do the best that I can in order to make this as awkward for them as possible, and maybe kill a robot or two.
Yeah,
Also, I have to put
adjust your
back my
deck.
hand and adjust my deck.
So while that's happening, Gazix is essentially a puzzle fight. It sets rules for how the players are going to react, and it makes it very interesting when you're choosing which advanced cards to add to your deck, and which upgrades. But while the deck is being adjusted, and I'll explain exactly what that means for the monster in just a moment, I want to discuss the loot cards. So each robot received a loot randomly from their deck. We've got some good ones here. We've got Crown of Thorns. We'll discuss that card when it comes up. We got Ignition Crucible, which we'll be discussing on the Mage turn, and then we'll also discuss Laser Sight on the Ranger's turn. And as we killed Duran, we also get to add 2 more advanced cards. Each of the robots can add 2 more advanced cards to their deck. In this case, it's going to be for the Armored Holy Conduit, a Blinding Light, and a Bulwark of Justice. So as the game goes on, it gets you get more and more powerful. Essentially, your deck gets a little bit bigger, but you're going to be putting much better cards in. And we'll explain these cards as and when they come up. Each of the robots during this loot sequence as well, they also heal free HP for tier 1 boss on the hardest difficulty. And then they will draw up to 4 cards going into this fight. So the mage player is going to draw additional cards. So you also do a reload. So you shuffle your discard back into your junk folder back into your deck, and then you'll draw your new card. So you do have a chance of drawing the new advanced cards. For the mage, we're going Battle Plan and Fire Rain. Both of these are great cards, and I'm looking forward to describing those out to you. But Battle Plans essentially lets you get through your deck faster to look for the cards that you want. Fire Rain is very good at targeting multiple different minions or bosses and splitting that damage up. But you can just go ahead and supercharge that because it deals spell damage and dump it all onto a single target should you so desire. And then coming over to the Ranger, I see we're going Scout Ahead and Aim Shot. Another copy of Scout Ahead, always very strong. And Aim Shot, this basically just deals 2 damage and then lets you add 2 basic attack or defense cards from your junk folder back to your hand. So this is like another way of the Ranger essentially holding on to lots of card advantage. Okay, if the robots are set up, Drew, do you want to just quickly explain how you set up the second boss?
Sure. The second boss is going to have 5 additional tier 2 cards that are going to be put into their deck. So you're going to simply add those cards to the deck and then shuffle that. That's going to be your main deck. You're also going to be taking 5 new Spiderlings and adding that to your minion deck. Now, the Prismatic Spiderlings are special, and we will kind of discuss those once they come up. But those can be a very big threat if they are not handled properly. The nice thing is that if you have less than 4 cards, you draw up to 4 cards for the robots. However, as the boss monster, I get to draw a full hand. So, with that, I have a lot of different options that I'm going to review real quick. I also get to draw at the start of my turn up to a 6 card. Okay.
Is everybody ready to go into boss tier 2, Gazix?
I'm ready. I don't know if I'm prepared,
Yep.
but I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Alrighty.
Summon 7 spiders.
We're going to start with Overwhelming Numbers. So this particular card is a tier 2 card that you get once you switch from Doran to Gazix. I get to deal 2 damage, and then I manifest 2 Spiderlings. Because I am choosing to deal damage, the Paladin still has 2 taunts, so that damage is going to have to be directed at him. So I will then manifest my 2 Spiderlings. Oh, and I got a Frenzied, meaning that I get to attack with that. But before I do that, I'm also going to go ahead and drop another Jumping Hunting Spider. The reason I'm dropping that is because I want to be able to deal damage right away to Riken. Just because, he's such a good pal.
You're so friendly.
Warning for the Arachnophobe, the next card I'm going to bring up on screen might trigger you. So this is your warning. 3, 2, 1, Infected Host.
So, Infected Host is probably one of my favorite cards to drop early because it's very awkward for players to deal with. Because if they kill it, then it manifests 2 spiderlings. So, with manifesting 2 spiderlings, it just creates more problems as you deal with it. Now, with this setup, I'm now going to choose to attack at this point. You can attack in any order and play things in separate orders as you see fit, but I just figured that it would be a little bit smoother to try and put everything out for you in one go. So we're going to first hit Riken with the Frenzied Spiderling to get rid of that one last taunt. And now the question becomes, do I think I can get through the Paladin to the Ranger, or should I just put more damage on the Paladin? I think in this particular situation,
You want to do
knowing
nothing.
Just wishful thinking, asking the monster to not play the game.
You can
Not sure how
cast
that
your-
strategy still work.
I think I'm actually just going to put 4 damage onto the Paladin.
Oofta.
And then I will pass my turn to set Paladin. Because of that, I'm actually going to now trigger my Cradle of the Swarm. I take 1 damage, and then I get another 2 Spiderlings.
Okay. And remember, if the
Ooh.
boss is it, oh, that's pretty good. We'll go over that one in just a second. But if the boss gets attacked 4 times or more during the Raider's turns, there's going to be 3 more Spiderlings coming down. And if 3 of these Spiderlings are killed in a single turn, all the robots are just going to lose 3 HP. But we're going to be showing off our brand new Spiderling. So this is also our first reveal. This one hasn't shown up in any of our demo games before. So, Drew, why do you like this spider? What is this Spiderling?
So the nice thing about this Spiderling, although it can't attack the turn that it comes out, much like the regular Spiderling and the Spiderling Guard, the fun thing about the Prismatic Spiderling is that it gains +1 attack for each different Spiderling that you control. So in this particular situation, he himself counts as 1, so that makes him a 1/1. Then I have a Spiderling Guard that flipped, which now makes it a 2/1. And with a Spiderling and a Frenzied Spiderling, it is now a 4/1. So this little guy is swinging for 4 damage. He is a little squishy, so he does tend to be a pretty high threat for people to try and get rid of. But if he gets to hit, he hits really hard.
Okay.
All right. It is on to you, Riken. Or Anthony.
All right. Thanks for all that damage. That was really kind of you there, friend. I'm gonna start off with my boot sequence.
I just wanted to say hi. I felt like Dorian didn't really get a very warm welcome, so.
Right. Okay. I'll have to be sure that we repay that welcome. On my boot sequence, Nanite Repairs is going to heal all allied robots for 1 HP. So if any of us are missing HP, which I believe is just me and you, Jason, we can heal that up. I don't have any holy counters to spend, so I'm just going to draw from my boot sequence. And I have a very simple hand right now, so I'm going to smash that Spiderling Guard over there.
All right. We no longer have to mill a card because Doran is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go any further, I do just want to quickly explain something. So the Spiderling minions, when they're killed, you put them back to the bottom of the minion deck. We have a house rule with our playtesters, and this is part of what we call our ultra mode when we make it. We start adding a few house rules. Our playtesters are good enough that they can look at the card numbers because each of the Spiderlings are numbered individually and memorize the order of the Spiderling deck. So the way that we actually counterbalance that to make it more difficult is we put them in a separate junk folder and we just reload it, and then the players can't memorize the order. But that's not something we expect the average player to want to do. But it's just like one of the ways that we increase the difficulty on our playtesting sessions. So this is the kind of things that you can do to increase or decrease the difficulty when you're playing with your group of friends when you want to have fun. Sorry, please continue. So we've got 1 guard, 1 holy counter, and we've squished a Spiderling Guard.
Yeah, one of the Spiderling Guards is gone. Then I am going to play a Distracting Light. Are either of you guys... It is actually, yeah. So Distracting Light is going to give me 3 Taunt and 2 Guard, and it's going to give me a Holy Counter. Very simple card, but it is the Paladin's primary defensive measure in his deck.
Oh, and because we didn't bring it up before, Taunt also expires at the beginning of the robot's turns. So again, you don't want to over taunt, but you are going to need enough to make sure that the other robots don't get turned to scrap.
Mm-hmm. Quick check on you guys. Are you guys going to be able to deal with the prismatic, the infected host, or the jumping hunting spider?
I can take out for sure any 3 or 4 of them if you want.
Okay. Just checking. I will use a distracting light to guard up a bit more if you guys are going to be able to make sure to get rid of the prismatic at least, because that thing, if that thing hits me, it's going to eat a lot. All right, going to play my
Yeah, the
distracting light,
prismatic's gonna die.
which is going to bring up to 6 taunt and 5 guard, and then I'm going. That's also going to give me another holy counter. Then I'm going to consume all 3 of my holy counters to use my golden aura, which will give me 5 more guard, bringing me up to 10 total.
Oh,
So-
we're passing 8? Okay.
So to explain the distracting light, it's the theme for it in terms of how you get everybody's attention is like shining a really, really bright torch in everyone's eyes, and it just annoys everybody. And that's how the paladin taunts. It's a giant lighthouse.
Pretty much.
6 taunt, 10 guard. That
Uh,
is pretty chunky. I'm not gonna lie, that is a heavy turn.
That is my whole turn, as I hope I do not get Venom Spit.
We didn't actually go into Crown of Thorns because it didn't come up, but essentially this ability lets you, when you draw a second card for the turn, you can shed a card. So shedding is when you take a card from where a place, which in this case is your hand or junk folder, and you remove it from the game until the next boss comes into place. So this is a way that you filter your deck down. So you're going to draw your advanced cards more often. You've got to be careful because if you delete, essentially shed too many of the cards that you need, you might find that you do not have reliable ways of getting holy counters. So it's kind of a strategic way of thinning and managing your deck. There's a lot of skill coming into knowing how and when to play shed abilities. Anyway, sorry to jump in for that. Shall we go over to Neil's turn?
Sure.
You sound
During my boot
surprised.
sequence, I'm after the paladin? Nah, I was zoned out for a second. For my boot sequence, I'm gonna draw a card, then discard a card, an attack card using Ignition Crucible to gain a magic beam. Thank you. I assume Riken for renaming it that. I appreciate it.
They call it magic. It's magic
Uh,
counter, guys. Come on, let's use the proper terminology. This is going onto the Kickstarter page so people can understand how the game works. So this gives you a magic counter.
a magic counter. Then I am going to spend an energy to Fire Blast to the Prismatic, killing it, gaining another magic counter. I'm going to Fire Blast the normal Spiderling, killing it, gaining another Frenzied magic counter.
This
My
is the
bad.
power of overkill.
And then I'm going to cast Fire Shield, targeting Riken, giving him 3 more guard, as well as triggering Flame On, giving me another magic counter.
Thank
Then I'm
you.
going to activate my Mage's Power for the first time, drawing 5 cards and gaining 5 guard.
I need you to be a little bit more excited when you announce I ignite and draw 5 new cards from my deck. So this is also going to skip your draw at the start of your next turn, but as you can see, the mage essentially is a little engine where you keep recharging it by killing things. The mage's weakness is if you try and put all of that damage into the boss, for example, you don't get the magic counters, which makes it very hard to recover. So you very much specialize in killing things with extreme prejudice. If it has more than two legs, it probably needs to be on fire. Okay.
That is all 3 of
Uh,
my cards, so that will be my turn.
Also, to
Alright.
explain Flame On, when Ignite's used, you gain guard equal to the number of magic counters consumed. So this is going to be a 5 guard for our magical combustion unit.
My turn? Okay. I will do my boot sequence and draw a card. What did I draw? Okay, let's see. We got a jumping hunting, frenzied, and a host left, and also the boss. What I would do a quick shot to do 1 damage to jumping hunting, which would give me 1 focus. Then with my concentration, it gives me 2 focus. Then with my new ability upgrade, loot card, correction, loot, I'll pay 2 focuses to play a quick shot for 0 energy. So I'll use that focus I just gained to play another quick shot for free to finish off the jumping hunting.
And that combos
Then
very well with your concentration, right?
Yep. Smooth. Then I'll play my third
Hold on.
quick
You got to
shot.
gain your you got to gain your focus. You played a quick shot,
Oh, you're right.
so get your 2 focus.
2 from there. Then I'll get my 2 more for this third one. Puts me at 4 to get rid of the Frenzied. Then I should have 1 more energy left. Why does everyone have guard? I don't need guard. Then from there, I will just... I'll play Lock On, which is a 0 cost energy card, which gives me 2 from the card, 1 from concentration. Then for my last energy, I'm gonna use the Ranger's Prime Shots to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 damage to the boss.
Owie.
Yeah, eat that. And I'll draw a card from Prime Shot.
Seems like
That
a
is
very
my turn.
productive turn for the robots. To explain some of the questions in chat, our Kickstarter campaign launches March 31st. The plan is to have the game delivered within 1 year of successful funding. We wanted to give ourselves the appropriate amount of time just in case there's any issues with manufacturing or anything else to make sure that we don't give ourselves too short a timescale. But we believe we'll be delivering this within 1 year of development. So we come back to the boss's turn, and we've drawn the extra cards thanks to Enter the Lair, and also drawing for the start of the turn. And I see you're playing Spit Venom. This is a nasty card.
Yeah, it deals 8 guard damage, so it doesn't deal any direct damage, but I am going to be able to strip 8 guard off of our paladin buddy over here. And this is considered an attack card, so that will eat 1 of his taunts as well. And with that being the case, let's go ahead and also drop another Jumping Hunting Spider.
You know, that's not very friendly of you, I'm going to be honest.
All right. So let's go ahead and swing that at you. We're going to strip away 2 more guard and then hit you for 2. That gets you down to 1. And then I'm going to use this Infected Host to take that away and deal 2. And that is 2 of my 3 energy. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Juggernaut.
Oh, this is a new card.
Juggernaut is a fun card. It's one of the other ways to deal direct damage. This one's very fun because it is an AoE effect, meaning that it attacks everyone. So it deals 2 damage to all... Yes, area of effect. It deals 2 damage to all robots, and then I gain 4 guard. So it's both an offensive and a defensive card, which is very helpful at this moment.
So the type of that card being listed as attack might be a bit confusing because it doesn't say anywhere on the card. But taunt specifically is only reduced by single target attacks. AoEs do not affect it.
You have to specifically target something in order to reduce the taunt count.
And with that being the end of my turn, I do take 1 point of damage to my health. That doesn't get eaten by the guard, it just reduces the HP. So I will then manifest 2 more spiderlings.
Riken, I can give you guard, a lot of guard if you want next by my turn.
I would appreciate that. I'm gonna need it. Probably.
I got you. I can give you 6 if you want, or anything divided by 2. Divisible by 2 I can give you.
6 might be a bit overkill. We'll see what I draw.
Wait, sit. Is your entire hand reactive stances?
Yes.
Gosh, that's funny.
Oh, that's a little bit problematic. That's 3 of the basic defense cards in the Ranger's deck, the gain 2 guard. So that's not a lot of damage. Well, it's not a lot of damage that you're putting out. So we'll see how the turn plays out. We are currently over on our Armored Holy Conduit's turn. How are you going to play this?
During my boot sequence, all allied robots are going to heal for 1 HP. That's going to be all of us this turn. And I am
at
going
5 guard,
to...
I wouldn't have lost the 2 life from Juggernaut. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I actually forgot to do the trigger from Spit Venom to draw the extra card.
Oh yeah, if Spit Venom is fully guarded, you get to draw another card. So it's basically a way of punishing very high guard plays, so that you then don't run out of resources.
The way of punishing me.
Yeah.
Specifically.
It is also why I brought up, we're going past 8 guard. Usually if the Armored Holy Conduit gets past 8 guard, they're going to get Spit Venom. So the solution is to really pile on past that point if you're going to use it.
Pretty
Which
much.
he did. He had 13, which was tough to get through.
Okay, I am going to smash that Spiderling guard.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to play a Distracting Light, which is going to bring me up to 3 total guard, because Smash also gave me a guard. That's also going to give me 3 taunt. That's a total of 2 holy counters now as well. And I've only got 1 card left in my hand, so I'm going to play it. It is another Smash, and I am going to hit the Jumping Hunting Spider with it.
Did you heal one for nano repairs?
I did.
Oh, I'm gonna heal one too then. I
Yep.
forgot.
And that is the end of my turn.
Oh, this is not a good position to be in. Currently, the Armored Holy Conduit has 0 cards in hand, so that potentially opens the Raiders to a very nasty boss follow-up. So let's see how this all plays out, but that's not the position I would like to be in.
Yeah, this yeah, this isn't great. So I don't get to draw a card this turn because I used my Ignite last turn, but I am going to draw a card anyways because I like to cheat. First, I'm going to trigger Ignition Crucible, discarding an attack card to gain a magic counter. Then I'm going to play Mage Counter, giving Riken 4 guard, giving me a magic counter and drawing a card, then triggering Flame On and giving me an additional magic counter.
All the
And
synergies in the world. All the synergy.
all of them.
Oh, nice little fat hand you got going on down here as well.
Yeah, yeah. Then I'm going to Flame Blast to the Jumping Hunting, killing it because it already has 1 damage on this. I will overkill it, giving me another magic counter. And is there anything else worth doing at the moment? That's sad. We know Spit Venom's dealt with, and Paladin only has 3 taunts.
You guys might want to make sure you each have a bit of guard this turn.
I can
Yeah.
give each of us guard. Is that
Ah.
5 from last term or still this new one?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's I will be putting my actual guard in the typical tracking area when I have guard.
Okay.
I will. Sorry, this is taking a while. I actually am at a loss for what to do here. I'm going to ruin Butterscotch's turn for him. Sorry, not Butterscotch. Jason's turn for him. Jason, gain 3 guard, and then I'm going to ignite again, drawing 4 more cards and gaining 4 more guard.
We're just gonna have a tanky turn, you know.
Yeah.
The boss played Juggernaut, so we're like, you know what? Let's copy that.
Oh yeah, because he has 4 guard himself too. All right.
Move to my end turn. I have more than 6 cards, so I have to discard a Flame Shield. Last turn.
Oh, that's a funny one, Dan. Or MJ. I will draw my boot sequence. That's what I get. What I get.
Oh, I like MJ's comment. I can't hear the Paladin over all this hand advantage I have. That's a good one.
Okay. I could do something.
We would hope so. Whole world's watching.
I
How are you going to
don't.
play this turn?
I don't hope he can do anything.
I will play Preparation. I gain 2 focus, add 1 card from my junk folder to my hand. So I'll get technically 3 focus with my concentration. And I want Quick Shot. Let's see, I can go Prime Shot. That's 1. That's 2. Oh, that's fine. Let's do Quick Shot to get rid of the Frenzied. That'll give me 2 more focus. Then with my last energy, I'll do another Prime Shot on the boss, breaking his guard. He has 4 guard, and I do 5 damage, so it'll be 1 damage
1
to his
damage.
HP.
Oh no, I think I stubbed my toe on your arrow.
So to explain guard break, if guard is reduced to 0, it triggers what's called guard break. Now, normally nothing happens, but there are certain card effects that trigger or do something, it'll say if guard broken or if you guard break, do X, and that's when that comes up. So essentially, what's happened there is 5 of the damage has been eaten up by the guard, and Gazix has taken notice of an arrow in its knee.
All right. Is that the end of your turn, Jason?
That's it. That's it.
All right. Draw for enter the lair. Draw for turn. Okay. Guard expires. How do I want to do this? I think I want more of a setup turn, because right now the paladin does not have a ton of cards. They're going to have 2 cards on their turn because they're probably going to be activating their nanite repairs to draw an additional card. So the mage has a ton of cards in hand, and I'm pretty sure that half of Jason's hand is reactive stances.
Ranger is
I forgot
ready to do something. They haven't decided what that is yet, but they are going to react.
I'm
All
ready
right.
to do. You know,
Let's
something
play
fancy there.
Attack Pheromones, and I'm going to once again use the effect to manifest 3. Oh, wow. That was
I don't like
more
that.
impactful than I thought it would be.
Jeez.
Then I'm going to play Heart of the Swarm. Heart of the Swarm is a cool card. It's based on the boss tier. So I get to manifest a number of spiderlings equal to the boss tier. In this case, this is the tier 2 boss. So I'm going to manifest these 2, and then I get to gain guard equal to the number of spiderlings I control, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get to have 5 guard here. And I get to have 4 damage, which isn't going to do anything except break the taunt. So you know what, Paladin? There you go. There's your 3 taunt gone.
All right.
How are we looking for a big bomb, lava bomb?
And then at the end of the turn, we are going to take 1 damage, and we're going to manifest 2 more.
I've had lava bomb in my hand since the first turn of the Gasix fight.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's
things are
good.
starting to get a little bit out of control. As you can see, the restrictions the Gazix ability puts on for threatening that unpreventable damage, it kind of makes the robots walk this tightrope of how they collectively kill these spiderlings, and that does result in sometimes a lot of them ending up out before they get dealt with. So let's see how the Raiders try and turn this around, because right now I'm feeling pretty good if I'm playing Gazix.
All right. The start of my boot sequence, Nanite Repairs is going to activate. All of us can heal for 1 HP. I'm going to this time use Nanite Repairs ability to consume a holy counter and draw a card.
Called it.
Also going to draw in my boot sequence, which is going to trigger my Crown of Thorns. That is my second card I've drawn this turn. So I can shed 1 card from my hand or my junk folder. I'm going to shed a Smash.
So this is temporarily taken out of the game, and then when the next boss would spawn, you put it back into your deck.
Yep. So Neil, is there going to be a lava bomb coming this turn? Is that your plan?
Do y'all think this is a good turn for us to take a combined 9 damage? I'm not opposed to the idea.
Oh, by the way,
Take
your
it.
guard's expired, so please do remember to take
Yes,
those.
that is true. I'll get
You're
rid of
right.
that. I only have 2 cards this turn. I can do a lot of guarding and taunting, but that's pretty much all I can do. So I'm not going to be able to deal with any of the spiderlings.
I'm fine to lava bomb. I think we can take a hit.
Sure.
For now, I'm just going to
Yep.
Blinding Light. It's going to give me 4 guard and 4 taunt. I'm going to expend a holy counter to heal target robot 2 HP and draw a card. Going to heal myself for 2 because I'm the only one that's actually injured at the moment. And draw my card. Then I will play a Distracting Light, which is going to give me another 3 taunt, bringing me up to 7 and 2 guard. Up to 6 guard, another holy counter, and that's actually where I'm going to end my turn.
Okay,
All
to
right.
answer a
Moving in.
question in chat, so spiderlings always get reloaded, so you'll never run out. However, if all 20 of them on the table, you won't be able to spawn anymore, but there's a very good chance that the robot team is getting turned to scrap that turn if you have 20 spiderlings. So yeah, shall we jump over to the next turn?
All right. Because I used Ignite, once more, I do not get to draw a card. I will discard an attack card for a magic counter using Ignition Crucible. I'll play apparently just the mage's best utility card, Mage Counter, giving myself 2 magic counters and a card draw, and giving Riken 4 guard.
So we're getting two
Oh!
magic. We're getting 2 magic counters from this because we have Flame On, which means the first time you play a defense card, you gain a magic counter, and this card gives a magic counter. And I'm hearing
You
somebody's
play
made a
Lava
mistake.
Yeah, I did.
Play Lava Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was card draw. It's not something that.
That's a
I'm
misplay.
sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys.
Can you take out the guard spider or no?
Yeah,
if you would like to-
absolutely.
If you would like to take that back, Phobos.
No. We're playing this by the book. This is live on stream. No take backsies, or you're speaking poorly of the game.
Plus, he drew a card. He's seen it now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Game loss. Judge.
Judge, all right.
Okay,
Look,
we
I'm too
may
nice,
be
okay?
in trouble.
I-
That's a lot of prismatic spiderlings that are going to hit me.
No.
I
The
have
prismatics aren't going to be there. The prismatics aren't going to be there.
Okay,
It's
good.
fine. I'm going to Fire Blast a guard for a core counter, magic counter.
All right,
And
that's
then
one.
I'm going to Fire Blast a prismatic for a magic counter.
All right, that's 2.
Now we just need Butterscotch Jason to kill the other 2, and we can pretend I didn't make a mistake.
Alright,
I'm absolutely going to Ignite again, though. Give me my 5-card draw. And 5 guard.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I lied. No, I'm not.
You're not.
Pass turn.
Okay.
I mean, I can always do it next turn, and if I do it next turn, I get my card draw next turn. Yeah.
I boot. Did this help me or hurt me?
I'm pretty sure your next turn is going to be very painful. I'm not going to lie.
No, let's do Scout Ahead. Let's draw a card. I get it's 3 cores, 3 focus plus 1, make it 4 concentration, and that did help. Okay. Quick shot, prismatic.
Oh, what's wrong with my prismatic, guys? They're so cute.
I just want to
not
give
when
you
you're
a
looking
very
at 'em.
big hug. That's what that is.
Quick shot, another prismatic.
See, now I think you just have something against prismatics.
I do. They're not jumping huntings. Then that's all 3 energy.
Oh, that's it?
Or yeah, that's all. That's it. 1, 2, and 3.
All right, cool. I get to draw 2.
And we're going to be drawing 2 because we have 3 or less cards in hand.
How do I want to do this now?
You want to not play any more spiderlings. Definitely.
Oh, he has 4.
So as you can see, on the harder difficulties, the boss doesn't really run out of cards because of the dungeon one. So if you want to make the game easier by taking away the dungeon one, there's tables in the rulebook which says how to set each the rates up depending on the difficulty. We use E to S, with S being the highest rank, and that's what we're currently playing the game on. But you can tone it down depending on your playing group's experience with the game or card games in general. But the dungeon augments really do make a massive difference, as well as the actual boss augments. But yeah, you can make the game a lot more robot favorite by taking this out. Sorry to interrupt, Drew. That's a lot of stuff to start your turn in play with.
How many cards?
Yeah, I'm going to start with an overwhelming numbers to deal 2 damage to Riken, and we're going to spawn 2. Then I'm going to play another Heart of the Swarm. Spawn 2 more.
Guardian incoming.
Yeah, this might be in our favor that we didn't Lava Bomb yet, because that's 2 Heart of the Swarms you played.
And then I'm going to play a Spider Nest.
Cool.
2, 4, 5. Yep. And then that's going to
5 damage, you said?
yeah.
Wonderful. I am so glad you didn't hurt me.
That's fine. Now at the end of my turn, because this is a tier 2 boss, Spider's Nest is going to manifest 2. That was very fortuitous. And then at the end of my turn, I am going to lose 1 health. And I'm going to manifest another 2. That's 1. Let's flip this over, shuffle it up, and 2.
Okay.
Alright. And it is back to the Paladin now.
Alrighty. During my boot sequence, Nanite Repairs is going to activate. I'm going to heal for 1. I believe I'm the only one injured still. I am going to spend a holy counter to draw a card, in addition to my normal card for boot sequence, which is once again going to trigger Crown of Thorns. It's just going to let me shed a card from my junk folder. It's going to be another smash. Okay, I am going to play a Blinding Light. Oh, sorry, not Blinding Light. I'm going to play a Smash card to begin with. Gonna hit one of those Spiderling guards.
Okay.
Do you just have nothing else to play?
I have 3 cards in hand.
Fair play.
That's going to give me 1 guard. Then I'm going to play a Blinding Light. I'm going to expend the Holy Counter I just got from my Smash. Bring it to a little 5 guard, 4 taunt. And I'm going to heal myself for 2, back up to full, and draw myself a card. And then with my last energy for turn, I'm going to play First to Charge, which is just very simply going to draw me 2 cards. Need to refill my hand a little bit.
Yeah.
To answer the chat question, no, you can't overheal. Your maximum HP is your maximum. You can't go over that number, regardless of how much healing you have.
That is the end of my turn.
All right. I'm lava bombing this turn, guys. I promise. I cast Lava Bomb, triggering Ignition Crucible, so after Lava Bomb goes off, Ignition Crucible is going to spike Spider's Nest for 1 point of damage.
So to explain this,
Well,
the boss is going to take 3 damage. All minions in play are going to take 1 damage. And then once that's fully resolved, we look at the next thing that triggers, which is going to be Ignition Crucible, which will then deal, since free energy has been spent on a single card, you can deal 1 damage to any target. And what's happening here is the Spider's Nest is also being killed. Then we have to resolve all of the effects of the boss that triggers from that, which includes Staunch Defender, which will deal free
Yes.
unpreventable damage to all robots. So this will go through everyone's guard, like it can't be prevented. You must reduce robots' HP.
Yep.
I see Raikon over there just sorry, Anthony just over there deciding his HP is not worth reducing. He's like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Apologies.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Try to sneak that one past us. That's fine.
I kind of spaced out for a second there.
That will be
Alright.
my turn.
All right, Jason. Let's see what you got.
Beautiful. I'll do my boot sequence, then I'll draw a card. Beautiful. How much HP does 18? You have... No one has guard besides the Paladin. And he has, what, 5 guard?
I've got
5 guard,
4
yep.
taunt.
4 taunt. So, okay. I will do... Reactive Stance to give my mage 2 guard. Give me this. And another Reactive Stance to give myself 2 guard. As I will take the boss monster down to below half HP. With my
How much are you?
10
how
damage
much-
of prime shot.
All right, so I take 8.
You did get 2 guard, Neil. I don't know if you you heard Jason.
And we're gonna take what, 3 damage?
3
correct?
damage from Into the Lair.
So, React Stance is nice since it's party card. I can give it to my teammates. Since I was gonna take the boss down to half HP, I can reduce the damage we both, the mage and I take by 2, so we're not as hurting.
And Riken, you should be down to 2 guard, right?
2 guard. Sorry, we took 3 more damage.
Enter the
Right,
layer.
boss one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I took him below half. So then that's my turn.
All right.
All right.
Getting towards the end stages of Kha'Zix,
And I'll draw from Prime Shot.
and we have a full mitt there. Some
All
apologies. I
right.
noticed some of the cards in the boss's hand is currently blacked out. That's just a bit of a loading error on my side. They do have regular card backs, so you can't tell what they are for the players in the game. Just whatever my stream is capturing black boxes. Sorry, Drew. How are we going to play this one out? A Inflicted Host and a Spiderling's Nest. Oh, and a new one, Brood Guardian.
Yeah, so Brew Guardian's cool. It gives me 5 guard, and then all opposing attacks have to target me until my guard is expired. Once my guard is expired, then the attacks can hit the other things. This is typically a really strong play when you have the Spider Nest out, because it makes it so that it's very difficult to actually get to the Spider Nest. In this particular situation, it's probably not as good as if we were going to be going into Vindra. But in this situation, I think that this is kind of okay. So this is going to hit Riken and take out his guard. And then this is going to do 2 more damage to you. And then the end of the turn, we are going to manifest another 2 spiderlings here, and then I take 1 damage, and then I get another 2 spiderlings.
MJ, for your question, I used the guard first because if I attack first, I wouldn't be able to guard myself or the mage player using my reactive stance. So I want to give everyone defense first before I break the boss's HP to below half, triggering its dungeon augment that does 3 damage to all of us.
Yeah. Yes, Dan. I wish that we could show off Vindra a little bit, but
Spoilers, no
I think
spoilers. That one's a secret. Stream gets killed if you spoil it. No one knows what Vindra does until the game comes out.
That's fair. I've been told that I am not allowed to spoil it. Sorry.
So,
It is
y'all don't
now
have to
the
worry about the
Paladin's
board
turn.
state, by the way. The actual reason I didn't use my counters was to prepare for Brood Guardian, so I've got this handled. I've got the counter.
You got
in
that
hand.
handled? Alright. I'll just build some focus.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, I took Fire Rain this time.
Oh,
So, Anthony, how are we playing this turn? Probably
move
the reloading.
sequence.
Yeah.
I'm going to reload and then draw for turn. We all heal for 1 as well from my nanite repairs.
Thank you.
Okay. I think this turn I'm probably going to guard up.
Excuse me.
Hey, just tap the mute button when you're gonna cough. You're blowing my ears out a little bit, buddy.
My bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Sorry.
Did you
how
say you were
doing?
planning on fire raining, Neil?
Yeah, I'm Fire Raining.
Okay. In that case, I am going to open up with a...
Smash.
Yeah, I'm going to open up with a smash against one of the guards.
Has to be
Yeah.
on Kha'Zix.
Has to be
Oh,
Kha'Zix.
you're right. I always forget Brood Guardian. Right, okay. In that case, I'm just going to Distracting Light. It's going to give me 3 taunt, 2 guard, and a holy counter. And then I'm going to Bulwark of Justice.
Oh, this is a new one. What is
Oh.
free Bulwark of Justice? It's a 2 energy card.
So, Bulwark of Justice is pretty much the best defensive card in the game. It costs 2 energy. It's the only 2 energy card in the Armored Holy Conduits deck. Effectively, it forces... It is the Holy Conduit's equivalent to Brood Guardian. It says, hey, look at me. You're not allowed to touch my friends. All attacks that the monster player makes next turn have to target me. And in addition, all of their minions are debuffed. They have -1 attack. So the basic spiderlings, they can't do any damage. The prismatics could still be an issue, as could the infected hosts. but I'm sure it'll be fine. You know, I'm sure the other robots have that stuff taken care of. That is my whole turn.
Okay. I cast Fire Rain, expending 5 magic counters to increase its spell damage from 4 to 9, which I can then split as I choose between any number of targets. Because this is a single attack, I can choose to target Gazix and then spread the damage as I want around the rest of the minions, because the attack is still targeting Gazix. However, I also have to target things with taunt. So I'm going to deal a damage to both of your guard spiders, 1 to your spider nest. I'm gonna clear out both of your prismatics. That's going to take care of the 5 damage. I've got 4 left. 1 goes into Gasix as is required. I guess I'll just kill the spider nest. Put 1 out onto the infected host and then 1 more into Gasix. That'll be all the damage from that. Then Ignition Crucible triggers and deals 1 more point of damage to Gasix. That is my turn.
Huge.
Wow.
So
Huge.
gigantic fire ring cleaning up. But there's one thing you overlooked. You killed more than 3 spiderlings. You shouldn't have done that.
So,
You're right. We
yes.
all take 9 damage.
3 damage each. Sorry, stop confusing the audience. It's 3 damage to everybody, but 9 damage total.
It's 9 combined damage.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to take all 9, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Be a team player. Be a
it's-
team player.
Honestly,
not
if
how
you want
that
to just
works.
soak up, if you want to soak up all that damage, then
No,
that's fine.
No, that's not how the game works. You're not allowed to do that. I do appreciate you wanting to be the hero, but that's not how that works.
All right. That's the
I
that's
totally would.
the magical combustion units. It's my go. I'll do my boot up sequence. Draw. Oh, what I get? Oh, nice. Okay. How much guard do you have left, Mons? 2? I
Yeah.
think I can do it if I do this right. Which I may not. So let's find out.
Did you end up smashing Gasix?
I did not.
No, it did not.
Alright, so Gasix has 1 attack currently on him this turn. 2. Ignition
Echoes of
Crucible
the Fire
counts as
Rain.
its own attack.
Yep. So
So
that's
so this
the
is
other
Ignition
ability of
Crucible.
Staunch Defender. If Gazix gets hit 4 times, there'll be 3 spiderlings coming out. And we've already seen Gazix get hit once so far.
Twice
By
because
fire-
of Ignition Crucible.
Fire ring counts.
Oh,
He also
and
hits
Ignition
with,
Crucible, yeah.
Ignition Crucible. So that's 3. So 1 more, and I get to manifest 3 spiderlings.
what is my lock on? Is it attack? It's utility. Okay, I'll start with aim shot. I do 2 focus damage. That's going straight to the boss.
Okay.
'Cause I'm
This will
already-
go away, and then I manifest 3 spiderlings. 1,
Yep, and I'll
2.
gain myself a basic
3.
attack.
So you get to add back 2 attack or basic attack or defense cards from your junk folder. So that's reactive stances
yep.
and quick shots.
Getting 2 quick shots to my hand. That gets me 1 core focus from concentration.
Yep.
And I'll do. Okay. Math is mathing. Play it scout ahead. I'll just reload my deck.
So because we have to draw a card, we reload. This card is still in the middle of resolving, so it doesn't get included in that reload, which is why we put it to one side before we shuffle. We reload it up, and then go ahead and get the free focus from Scout Ahead, and then 1 additional focus because of concentration.
4. And I'll do.
Where did the 5th one come from? I was just in the middle of explaining that. I was like, where did your 5th focus? Did you already have one?
So I
You
get
got
1 from preparation.
Yeah, so 4.
I thought
3
the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so Scout Ahead gets me 3. 1 from concentration. That's 4 from just Scout Ahead.
and then I
then I
got 1 from
played-
aim shot.
Oh, you played
Yeah.
you played Aim Shot earlier. That's my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought you were
Yeah.
trying to sneak one past me there, trying to sneak up
Ah.
that focus.
I can
You
count these
scoundrel.
little things.
I trust
Focuses.
the playtesters. I have to trust it. I have to trust the team.
So, hey, you don't really trust this. That's a lie, guys. I'm gonna pay 2 focus for laser shot to play
Laser sight.
quick shot for free. Laser
Yep.
sight. Oh my god. Laser sight. Dealing 1 damage to the boss. Play quick shot and I'll get my 2 cores back. Then I'll use my prime shot to deal with 5 damage to the boss.
Boss
And
is
I'll just draw a
still
card.
there.
I am still alive.
Alright.
It's a good
We're gonna
throw.
take some damage, guys.
I'm about to
no,
take a
Bulwark
lot of
Justice is
damage,
still
I
in place.
think.
All right.
That's it
Oh.
for me.
I think somebody might die. It's going to be a pretty rough turn. Okay.
I could have hidden the prismatic if I was smart, but no. Brood Guardian's still in place.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah.
All right. It is unfortunate
He just
how
has
this
to
plays out.
only get frenzied. No, even frenzied spiderlings, they're going to attack immediately. Oh,
Well,
nothing
you
is
have
good.
You played Bulwark, so
Yes, you cannot attack anyone but me.
all right.
Yeah, but there's going to be an attack pheromones coming, isn't there?
No,
have-
I
Guess
wish.
not.
I was hoping.
Oh, good.
All right, so let's get rid of that 2 guard you had.
Oh,
Or did you
okay.
not have guard?
No, I did have 2 guard.
Yeah.
The taunt doesn't
Okay,
really matter.
I guess I'm just going to double Juggernaut and deal 4 damage to everyone and get 8 guard.
Wow.
That's the way of playing around Bulwark. You just start trampling, doing a little dance on everybody, and the robots are getting whittled down with the
That's
Gazix
unfair.
river dances.
And then I'm going to hit Riken for 1 more with this Prismatic.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to drop this other Spider's Nest. And I take 1 damage.
How many? There's only 2 spider nests in that deck. How do you keep drawing them?
Are you
I
not
don't know,
attacking me
man.
with the 2 frenzied spiderlings?
They
I
do
mean,
0 damage.
They do
That's
they
true,
do
that's
0
true.
damage, but
They
sure.
do 0 damage, yeah.
All right. And then at the end of the turn, we're going to manifest 4 spiderlings.
Guys, if we just last 2 more turns,
Whoops, that's the wrong thing.
He'll kill himself.
That's the wrong deck.
I like how you just tried to manifest out of Vindra's deck. It's fine.
Yeah, I
no one
did.
saw that. No one saw that.
It's okay.
I should have removed those at the start of the stream, but we're just gonna casually pretend that didn't happen.
All right.
This is a very bad spot.
Yeah. And let's see if you guys can do 10 damage to me.
It's fine, guys. I have smite. I can smite for 1.
That is actually
Alright.
huge. That saves us.
It's gonna hurt all of
ahead.
us. We're gonna get real low, but I can do it. Alright, during my boot sequence, everyone heal for 1.
Oh, thanks. You said
Not
everyone,
you.
so I'll just
Not you.
Clearly, there's a pecking order in this friend group.
I don't heal ugly spider friends.
Rude.
That I'm going to draw during my boot sequence. And I'm going to expend my 1 holy counter to play a smite. Consuming the 1 holy counter to deal 1 damage to all enemies and gain 1 taunt.
Alright.
I really hope you guys can deal with Gassix this turn.
Well, a lot's going to happen here. So when things trigger
Right,
at
you
the
all
same
take-
time, the player who's in control of the triggers will choose what order to put them in. So you can be very clever with how you set stuff up. This is important in the boot sequence. Like you can use nanite repairs before you do your draw in your boot sequence. There's certain cards where that may be relevant. As of right now, we are just killing. All of this stuff is dying, and that will trigger the infected hosts, which manifest 2 spiderlings each. So I guess you're doing that before you do the unpreventable free damage to everybody.
Correct.
Everybody gets another little river dance on them.
Alright, 3 damage to everyone.
Yeah, we are hurt.
Yeah, we are.
And still
Okay.
9 guard.
Yeah. And yes, Gazix is talking a lot for somebody who's on 2 HP.
Are we looking
Thing is that-
at Neil's turn now?
All right. Oh, draw a card.
I can do 6 damage max.
going to discard an attack card for a magic counter. Then I'm going to Fire Blast the guard, I guess, for a magic counter.
Yep.
So, let's see. I've got, what? Mage counter, Lava Bomb, Fire Rain in my graveyard. What's my other in my hand, right?
Junk folder.
There's 2 Fire Shields left in my deck, 2 Fire Blasts, nothing of use. So I guess my only real option here is to be sad. I'm going to use 2 magic counters to draw 2 cards and gain 2 guard.
This is using Ignite.
Yep, using Ignite. My bad. And then I'm going to play Battle Plan.
Hey, this is cool. First
Which,
time we're seeing this card being played. Walk us through.
all right, so Battle Plan on the surface is look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand, 1 into your junk folder, and 1 on the bottom of your deck. Unfortunately, not included on the card, and I hope we can get that before the game is produced, is if there are less than 3 cards in your deck, you have to reload to perform this. So I'm using Battle Plan to force a reload and get earlier access to my advanced cards. Which means this doesn't go in there.
Okay. 1 energy. Let's look at the top 3 and see what you fish up.
That's going to my hand, that's going to my discard, to my junk folder, and that's going to the bottom of the library deck. That is my, unfortunately, my turn.
Oh no.
Wait,
Oh,
wait, I had
How
1
much-
energy left,
you
didn't
do
I?
have 1 energy left, so
I've-
I'm wondering, like, why you're passing. But
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. I'm gonna be helpful and Fire Blast to Prismatic.
Get your counter.
Yep. Now that's my turn.
There we go.
All right. Can you kill Gazix with effective 9 HP,
No.
or are you gonna try and clear board?
I
I
might
mean,
clear board.
we just
And-
clear board install, right?
Yeah, we stall until you end yourself. So that's that's the team win. What I get? Oh, that does
If we
nothing.
can survive this round, I think we'll be good.
Gosh, he has so many cards in hand.
yeah, that is quite a grip. The Ranger on 6. At least
I-
you're...
Yeah, honestly, I've been managing my hand resources pretty good. I've been prime shotting almost every other turn as well.
This is actually a core part of the Rapid Fire Archery Scouts card draw, is using Prime Shot. A lot of your cards don't necessarily give you a ton of card advantage. They like give you ways of filtering for your deck, and a lot of your draw comes from Prime Shot or cards that self-replace, so effectively. That said, you do have Aim Shot, and Aim Shot is another way of grabbing back some of your basic cards to keep those cards flowing. Anyway, sorry to
Yep.
interrupt. Please continue.
No, you're good. I will do quick shot. Get rid of prismatic.
I don't know why they have so much of an issue with the prismatic. It hasn't even gotten to swing this game. Well, one did, one time.
Yeah, and that one time is just enough for us to not see it ever again. Then I'll
He just
do
wants to
another
hug you.
aim shot to get rid of
Quick
the
shot.
nest.
All right, quick shot
sorry.
on the nest. Got it. Yeah. Oh,
Quick
what's
shot on the
that's the
nest.
wrong. That's the wrong discard. There we go.
Then I'll do. What's that one? The Spiderling. Does anyone want guard?
I would say give it to yourself, probably, if anyone. We need you alive. You
Yeah,
are
we
the most
do.
important person right now.
All right, I will guard myself. Give myself 2 guard and focus.
I am effectively your shield until I break.
You're pretty close.
Yes, I am.
We're all close. That is the end of my turn. All my energy left.
All right.
Okay.
I feel like at this current point in time, everyone is real low on resources.
This
All right.
situation actually does favor the boss because the boss has Enter the Lair, which is if there's less than 3 cards in hand, draw an extra card. So the boss is going to be drawing 2 cards this turn to go up to 4 cards.
Like, as long as one of us lives, because he's gonna go down to 1 HP to end this turn. Just hit him one time. We're good to go, guys.
Unless he has enough guard.
Oh.
He's getting guard right now.
That's going to be Heart of the Swarm. So we're going to make two. We're going to manifest 2 more Spiderlings and then gain free guard.
Goofed up. Alright. What's his other card in his hand?
Oh, jumping hunting spider. That's some damage.
That's.
Um,
I'm going down. I'm going down, guys.
Nah, that's
so
fine.
this Spiderling has to hit the Paladin for 1, because the
Yes.
Paladin has 1 taunt.
Down to 5 HP.
Let's strip the guard off of the Ranger and hit him for 2.
Yep.
And unfortunately, these guys can't attack this
Oh.
turn.
Oh, you were
Oh,
looking for a
man.
frenzied spiderling when you played that Heart of the Swarm, weren't you?
I was hoping I might get one. But to be honest, I am kind of okay with the current HP totals if we were going into the final fight against Vindra. So,
Ooh.
I suppose I shall most likely accept my fate at this point and pass the turn to
Well,
Riken.
you've got 1 more energy. You've played Jumping Hunting Spider.
He's
and
I
at
have
Heart of the
no
Swarm.
hand.
He's
Did you draw?
I
You
am
should have
out of
you should have had
gas.
4 cards at the start of your turn because you had less than 3 cards.
Oh, right. Actually.
well, you drew.
Oh, this just says to draw if you have less than 3, you draw an extra card. So I
So
drew
yeah,
2 cards.
trust you.
And I
If
played.
you have
He started
3 or
with
less
4.
cards.
I believe you started with 0, right, Drew? Or
I
did
did.
you start with 2?
Oh, you started
Yeah,
with
he started
0?
I
Ah,
started.
okay. Sorry, my misunderstanding. So,
Oh my god, I might survive.
He's not gonna die.
That is a lot of guards.
all
I
of a
might
sudden,
live!
all of a sudden, the guards come out to stand in front of their hatchery garden. They're so proud of it, looking after their nest, and they've all shown up. But we're going to be seeing Gazix go down to a single HP. Will the Raiders be able
Yeah.
to clear it this turn? Because I am certain somebody dies. Sorry, somebody gets scrapped if Gazix gets another turn.
I was so
Okay.
intending to kill Gazix myself, but between the guard and the guard spiders, I just can't.
It's okay, Riken. I can kill both Gazix and the Ranger on my turn.
What?
Oh, of
Gazix
course.
and the
no.
Rage.
The
Oh,
danger
no.
zone. So what's happening here is because one of the robots is under 3 HP, if 3 of these spiderlings gets killed in a single turn, it will trigger Staunch Defender, which will deal 3 unpreventable damage to everybody and actually scrap the Ranger. So they can't actually use a card like Lava Bomb or an AoE to kill all the spiderlings because they will kill this player in doing so. So let's see how the robots
Yeah, that's not
navigate
going to
this turn.
stop me.
Go ahead, Smite.
Boot sequence.
Smite for the
Everyone heal
rolls.
for 1. Everyone heal for 1.
I live.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
I'm going to draw for my boot sequence. I'm going to smash 2 guards, which is going to give me a total of 2 guard and 2 holy counters. Then I'm going to blinding light, spending a holy counter to heal the ranger for 2.
Aha.
Give me 4 taunts and 4 more guard, bringing me up to 6 total guard, and drawing me a card. And that is my whole turn.
All right. I cast Lava Bomb.
Alright, that gets rid
He
of my
sounds
guard
so disappointed when doing that.
and deals
It
3
doesn't-
damage to everyone.
It doesn't kill you. I'm so sad
Yeah,
about it.
we all take 3 unpreventable
No,
damage.
we don't. We actually don't take the 3 damage. So the way this
Why?
plays out, because robot abilities go on the stack first, Lava Bomb kills everything, dealing 1 point of damage to everything, and 3 damage to you, clearing your guard, leaving you at 1 life. Then Ignition Crucible activates, dealing 1 point of damage to you, killing you, which means the 3 damage to everyone never actually goes off.
So
Yeah.
if a character is removed in the middle of all of the triggers happening, you remove all of their triggers. They just don't resolve. So in this case, by a very clever lava bomb, we're able to avoid Gazix doing another little river dance on the robot's HP.
Yep. And then you guys have successfully cleared the second boss and have made your way to the final boss, which we will not be showing at the stream.
No,
When Jason
it's going to
kill it.
remain a secret. The Ranger would
when
have their
Jason-
last turn. There's realistically, we're just going to see a quick shot and then probably 2 reactive stances to get some guard up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the Raiders will successfully clear. They are dangerously low. Quick round table question. How confident would you be going into Vindra on this board state without revealing what Vindra does?
Not very.
Not
No.
very.
Oh, you can hear it a little bit in the distance. The spider is enraged that you've entered its lair, you've smashed its hatchery, you've killed its cultist, and Vindra awaits your arrival. But we will not be going through that today. Um, yeah, no. How did you guys find that as the playtesters? Were there any kind of notes or anything about the game that you enjoyed, or anything you'd like to share with our viewers? We'll do a little bit of a Q&A, so if you've got questions in the chat, more than happy to answer them while I've got everybody here.
Frostbite is the best monster player.
Oh, by far.
Drew, he is cold, calculating, and brutal.
Yeah, I will say it is technically easier to play as the monster player. You don't have to worry about other people messing up your turn by taking away certain things. You don't have to worry about like coordinating with other people. So you do, as the players tend to do that, you do get a bit of information, and that sometimes like it gives them better plays, but it gives you information of how to play around certain things. But it is definitely very fun to play as the monster, as you could tell. The first round against Doran is definitely more the precursor. It's more of a DPS check typically. But as you can see, when you get to Gazix, it is a slog fest to get through. And it can be very difficult for the robots. But I personally have a lot of fun playing as the monster. And giving them all a very difficult time to try and get through. You get to make the robots have a lot of meaningful decisions every turn when you play as Gazix, which can be a lot of fun. And, you know, being the big bad boss monster can, you know, make them all band together to try and fight. As you could see, even on the second to last boss, the robots can get dangerously low. The game can be very difficult depending on the skill level of all the different players, both the robots and for the boss monster. But it's a lot of fun to play both.
Yeah, for anybody watching at home, before you go into the final boss, at this point you would get each of the robots would get an additional loot card. They would each heal 5 HP, so they would not be going up to full. Then you'd bring Vindra in. You take the tier 2 cards out of the deck, and then you add Vindra's cards, which means you have the tier 1 and tier 3 cards. It does say there's a deck list in the rulebook, which will tell you exactly how to set it up, but it's super simple once you get your head around it. And your deck, the monster deck, is going to be a lot stronger because the tier 3 cards are a little bit busted. And that is very distracting. Please, what is it? I didn't even know these things existed, but let's get those off our. I realize actually Tabletop Simulator isn't on stream, so nobody else is actually being distracted by that.
That's why we were doing. That's why we were doing it.
Only reason that would happen.
Okay, yeah, I was just like looking and I had no idea. So, yeah, and essentially you can go in, and the cool thing about Robot Raiders is that if you want to play it more modular, you're perfectly able to do that. So you could just say we're just focusing on Vindra, we're just focusing on Gazix. That is completely okay to do, or you can play a whole evening. As you see, we've been going for about 2 hours now. And we've done the first 2 bosses, and then we'd have Vindra, which is by far a big challenge, especially on S tier. I think we should probably get ready to wrap it up. I do want to say a big thank you to all of our playtesters and everybody watching. We are going live on Kickstarter March 31st. You can head over to our Kickstarter page. The link is down below in the description. I also invite you to come and subscribe and see all of our cool content we've got coming out, which talks a little bit about the design decisions and some of the back end stuff that we are doing with Robot Raiders. Come follow us on Kickstarter. You'll be the first to know when we go live. We really hope you choose to back us. We want to bring this project to life and get it to you so that you can be playing this at your kitchen table in the very near future. So from our side, we're going to wish you a good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where in the world you are, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Before you run away, Matt, did you tell them about their Discord and stuff too? That if you want to interact with you or any of the stuff.
That is a very good point. Links are below. If you do want to play the demo, you can actually sign up to our mailing list on robotraiders.com. You'll get sent a link which will give you access to our print to play demo, so you can print that out, do some arts and crafts, cut it up, and you can play it with your player group, which will be the first boss, and some pre-selected advanced cards. And you can also join our Discord. I'm on there all the time, so please ask me questions if you want to know about the game or you want to know about the tiers that we're planning and sort of the costing and stuff. Talk to me. I will be more than happy to answer it. You can ask me some Yu-Gi-Oh questions because my background was spending 9.5 years working on the game, but I'd prefer to talk about Robot Raiders. But there are some. I will answer some of your Yu-Gi-Oh questions if you so desire. But yeah, thank you all.
And if anyone wants
so much.
tips for playing the boss monster, let me know.
You can be
Just
a bad
play
friend and talk
double
to.
of the same card, and it hurts us every single time.
Just always draw Spider's Nest. That's how you play the monster.
Yeah.
Good game.
No.
Good game, everybody.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank
See
you all
ya.
for watching.
Thanks everyone for watching.
See ya.
And I've just ended the stream.